Hi guys, Kurt Provost here, your guide to all things new skin. I was having what can be a bit of a challenging conversation with a team member. They were informing me that they're taking a step back from the business. From all intensive purposes, they are quitting the business. Now that can be difficult to deal with, and how you handle it I think is really important. So there's a few things that we need to understand. Let's dive into the topic of quitting and what to do it's more like inevitably when someone decides that this business isn't for them. I think this is a difficult topic to discuss because, within the network marketing world, there's this mantra that is, whatever you do, don't quit. You can't fail. The only way you can fail is if you quit. And it's partially true, it's partially false, like many things. It depends on what angle you're looking at it. Because if you are out there every single day talking to as many people as possible, if you're working on yourself and developing your skills so that you get better as you are having these conversations and you're sharing these products and you're sharing this company and you're learning how to do that better, and you're clamoring over the challenges and obstacles that are on your pathway, then quitting would be a terrible idea. Because if you continue to do that, if you continue to strive for what it is that you want and continue to push yourself and to grow into the person necessary to attain what it is that you're aiming for, then it's inevitable. It's just a matter of time that you will have exactly what it is that you're aiming for. However, if you have joined the business and your goal in this business is something totally different to that person who's taking the daily activity, maybe it's like all things, it comes down to what you want from this business. And maybe you're looking for just a couple of $100 that will cover your products, and one sale would do that for you. Then your daily activity is going to be totally different. And if you're not having those daily conversations, then quitting is not such a big deal, because ultimately you're not really building the business in the first place. Now, some people may take offense to that, and you don't need to, because again, it comes down to what it is that you want from this business. The truth of it is this: if you want an income that comes in every single day, week, month for the rest of your life, and at some point you want to stop working and you want that income to keep coming in, and you want the potential for that income to grow beyond what it is today and to increase in value with time and to be able to will that on to your children or grandchildren, then that is going to require a level of activity that most people are not doing. And if you're not doing that activity, but you want that, then you're not really in the business. You're not really doing the business. And that's okay, because there are other things that are valuable as well, like spending the time to get to know the products, like getting your own personal experience and testimonial with them, learning new skills, developing. Maybe it's a timing issue. Maybe it's not the right time in your life, unfortunately. Maybe there are things that just make it so incredibly difficult to overcome them, or to make it so that this business is kind of an unrealistic dream at this point in your life. However, that is difficult when you encounter the stories of people who have had perhaps worse hardships than yours and they've still managed to build this business. That is the hard part of this business, is that you're confronted with your own excuses. And that's a very challenging thing. I've dealt with this myself many times, because there's a reason why I am not where I want to be within this business. And that is because I have been in the past unwilling to do the things that I knew was necessary to get to where I wanted to go. And at that point in time, I wasn't ready to confront that scary truth. And so instead I quit the business and I went off and did other things, and I started up other businesses. The catch was that I'd already put in a fair bit of effort with Nu Skin, and so I had an income coming in, even though I didn't touch the business for an entire year. It was incredible. I mean, I didn't even log into my account. I kept receiving paychecks from Nu Skin, and it was after that period of all these other failed businesses that I'd attempted to start from the ground up, because that's the way that I thought it was to become a millionaire, or to become quote unquote successful. it was at that point when I continued to receive these paychecks from Nu Skin that I knew then that this is the business that is worth investing your time and energy into. This is the business that is worth going through the hardship for, because I was going through hardship with the other businesses, the conventional businesses, the online businesses. And it wasn't paying off at all. In fact, I was losing money. I was investing my Nu Skin paycheck. I was investing all of it into these business ventures that just I couldn't get up off the ground. And yet Nu Skin, I wasn't investing anything into, but I was being paid on the effort that I made, the hard effort, but the effort that I made years before. That's a truly incredible thing. And so I understand why people, when someone decides that this business isn't for them, and when you know how good this business is, it can be a very difficult thing to weigh your words correctly, because you want to shake the person and say, do you have any idea what you're saying no to? Do you have any idea what you're turning your back on? This is so good if you just put in the effort, if you just put in the time and energy to make this work. It is incredible. However, what is most important in this interaction with a team member who decides that it's not for them is to maintain the relationship, because the relationships in our lives are the most important things. They may not appear that way. It's kind of, relationships are disguised in modern day society, and it's easy to undervalue them and it's easy to neglect them, but don't do that. I have made the mistake of doing that, and I regret it. The relationships that I haven't nurtured to the full extent of what I could have. And so now I go out of my way to attempt to maintain relationships with people, because it is so important, the human connections that we have. So when someone inevitably decides that this business isn't the right fit for them, for whatever reason it is, don't try and cajole them or to chain them to the business or to say, you said you were going to do this and now you're going back on your word. Don't do those things. It's okay. Our role and our responsibility is to provide people with the opportunity to take a look at this business and figure out if it's the right fit for them. Our role is not to convince them that it's the right fit for them. Our role is to act as the connector and first and foremost see if they're open to taking a look, and then provide them with the relevant information, the relevant resources, the relevant exposures, conversations, demonstrations, events that they may need to come to an informed decision about whether or not this is right for them. And just because someone says no today or decides that it's not the right fit for them today doesn't mean that in 6 months' time, a year's time, 10 years' time, it won't be the perfect fit for them. And so if you have destroyed that relationship, if you've just gone, cut, I'm deleting you from Facebook, you're off my friends list, gone, we're never going to talk again because you quit my business. For starters, it's not your business. It's their own business. And they are independent human beings who can make up their own mind. But if you destroy that relationship, then in the future, when it is the perfect time for them, when it is the perfect fit, you're not going to be connected, and they're not going to know about that, and either are you. So I think the most important thing when dealing with what can be disappointment, when you see the potential within someone and they don't see the same potential within themselves, is to remember to be gentle, to be kind, to make sure people recognize that they're not extricated from the family, they're not cut from the community or anything like that. You're always here for questions, and just keep a line open so that you can check in with them from time to time and see how they're going, and to say, hey, that's totally fine, I respect that decision. If that changes in the future, let me know. But how about I check in with you in 6 months' time or a year's time and see how you're going, and let you know how I'm going with things as well. And they'll really appreciate that. And you know what? 90 to 95% of people who sign up as a distributor and who are using the products and loving the products, and then perhaps decide that the business isn't for them, continue to use the products. And that is really important, because if at some point in the future they decide that this business is the right fit now, because of timing, because of circumstances, because of how they have grown and changed, well, they're in a fantastic position, because they know and love the products so well that they have a really powerful story to relaunch their business with. and they will find that they have far more success than they would have at perhaps this point in time when they were struggling. So they're kind of my rambling thoughts on quitting, on your new skin business, and what to do when a team member decides that it's not the right fit for them. That's it for today, guys. My name is Kurt Provost. I'm your guide to all things new skin. I wish you the best of luck on your new skin journey, and remember to be understanding of people and their circumstances when you're out there sharing, growing, and building your new skin business.